Sanchez and Reeves should raise concerns among Lakers fans about the overall talent on the Lakers roster. The Clippers beat Dallas last night 116-103, 34 points for Kawhi Leonard. UConn women's basketball coach Gino Auriemma finally made a direct apology to South Carolina coach Dawn Staley. Auriemma called Staley late Tuesday afternoon to apologize for starting a heated confrontation between the two coaches after Friday's Final Four game in Phoenix. Auriemma released a generic apology on Saturday, but did not mention Staley's name in his statement. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
When the story gets twisted, who's going to tell the truth? When they cut the microphones, who's still talking? When history gets rewritten, who remembers what really happened? We do. KBLA Talk 1580. Black media isn't just important right now, it's essential. Because when mainstream outlets move on, we stay. When the headlines ignore our communities, we don't. When decisions are being made that affect black lives in our schools, our neighborhoods, our economy, KBLA is in the room. This is more than radio. This is a lifeline, a record, a rallying cry. Black stories, black voices, black power.
The heat is on.
On the air and in the culture. KBLA Talk 1580. Stay connected. Stay informed. Stay loud.
Stand up.
Get money, man. I do my money dance. And laugh all the way to the bank on these roots.
What? I jump up on the stage and do my money dance. I throw some money up and watch the money land. I do my money dance. I do my money dance. I jump up on the stage and do my money dance. I throw some money up and watch the money land. I do my money dance. I do my money dance. I jump up on the stage and do my money dance. I throw some money up and watch the money land. I fell in love when I touched my first $100,000. I fell in love when I touched my first 100 bands. And now we on the millions.
Welcome to Wealth Building Wednesdays, where we center Black, women, and BIPOC-owned businesses, highlight opportunities and initiatives for underrepresented entrepreneurs, and center socially innovative enterprises, building generational prosperity, fostering real networking, and recycling black dollars. It's Wealth Building Wednesdays on KBLA Talk 1580.
And you know how we do it. I'm always excited when I get to meet one of our Wealth Building Wednesday entrepreneurs live in the studio. And I'm also extra excited because last week, I think it was last week, maybe it was the week before, I put out a call saying, look, if you want to be in the Wealth Building Wednesday Spotlight, jump in the DMs. Hit me up. Let's talk about it. Let's get you on the air. This is what we're here for. And this young man did just that. He is a DJ, a fitness coach, and the founder of RDHD Fitness, which is brand centered on energy, growth, and community through music and movement. I will let him tell you about it himself. Roger Hill II, a.k.a. DJ Roger Dodger. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm great. Thanks for coming in.
Awesome. Thank you for having me on the show. It's a real honor to be here.
And you know what? I appreciate you reaching out in the DMs. I tell people, and one of the things that sometimes frustrates me is that I know we have so many great black entrepreneurs and small businesses, women-owned, Latino-owned, socially innovative businesses. And I know that we don't have marketing budgets. We don't have dollars all the time for advertising. So why don't more people take advantage of Wealth Building Wednesday? And you stepped up immediately. You're like, say less.
Definitely. So, one of the things that I learned from one of my mentors, he's a mentor for me as far as like DJing. A quote that he always used to tell me is, you don't work your way to the top, you collaborate your way to the top. So that comes with everything as far as, reaching out to people, seeing how you could work with people, seeing how you can not only just work with people, but seeing how you can help out their brand as an entirety. And, one of the main reasons I reached out is because, with April, it's Autism Awareness Month. I myself am a neurodivergent adult diagnosed with Asperger syndromes. And my mission has always been to, show people a different side of neurodivergent adults, because I feel like oftentimes they kind of like throw a label on us that, this is where our life is supposed to be. And, with me running multiple businesses, I feel like I'm kind of breaking that breaking that stigma already, because I used to be that same kid that would cover his ears like in middle school because of loud noises. And now, lo and behold, I made a career off of being around amplified music.
Right now, you make loud noises.
Yeah, no, for
For
real.
a
Now-
living.
Now I make loud. No, that is so true. And then, like, with my atypical movements, sometimes it's a little difficult from a fitness perspective. And now, I'm doing fitness and health and wellness coaching.
Wow, I never thought about that. How if your movements are not,
Yeah.
typical, or however you would call that, neurodivergent, I guess is what you would call it.
Yeah.
That could play a role in your fitness journey.
So I guess for the most part, I don't want it to make it seem like, there's a disadvantage. It was something that I learned just by observing,
I got you.
So, I observe neurodivergent adults. Even I observe my own movements. Like sometimes I could feel like, I'm moving the same way as other people are. Like an example I use is when I play basketball. So I would think that I'm moving the same way how other people are moving, but then my friends will tell me like, "Oh, you shoot like this, like you're so slow with your shot." And meanwhile, in my head, I'm thinking that I'm shooting like an NBA player, like I'm just off the jump with it. But that's one of the reasons why I say like there's typical movement and there's atypical movement. So it's just more so of like I'm trying to figure out the right word to say it. Like, it's just we move differently and we also think differently, too.
How did you find out? Because I know a lot of times with Black folks especially, they don't get a diagnosis ever, or they get it late.
So I found out, well, I won't say I found out. My mom found out, I want to say when I was, she'll probably correct me later on. But I want to say she found out when I was maybe like 3 or 4 years old.
Oh, wow, really young.
So we found out, and then we then got sent. Well, she sent me to this place called LA Speech and Language, which is one of my favorite places. That's like my second home. That's essentially, I've been going there since I was 6 years old. And I still go up there to visit every now and again to help the other kids, or, to speak to the other kids. And, that place has been, that place has played a big part in where I am in life right now.
Oh, that's great. So your mom just figured it out, got a diagnosis for you, and then took you to some place that was able to help you get to where you needed to go.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. I think, I believe in synchronicity, and, I had the singer Faith Evans on the show a couple weeks ago, and she's having an autism awareness community event on April 12th. So just a reminder to everybody.
I did see that.
Yeah. So I mean, it's amazing. When you DM'd me, I had no idea that was part of what you were talking about, a part of your mission. I said, oh, DJ, fitness guy.
Yeah.
Cool. So. You are an advocate also. That's
very
that's
much so.
Another part of your portfolio.
Right.
But talk to me about Roger Dodger, the DJ. Like, what are you specializing in? Where could we hear you?
Yeah. So
are you for hire?
Yes. So I'm gonna go through everything. So I do specialize majority like hip hop and R&B.
Okay.
But I am also willing to learn. So if somebody tells me like, hey, I want to hear this genre of music, I always like to tell people I'm a DJ for the people. So if you have a certain type of music that you want to hear, like all you have to do is send me a short playlist, and then I will go based off that playlist, and I'll just find a way to add my own flavor to it. And the reason I do that is because I feel like oftentimes DJs are out there DJing for themselves. And sometimes the people aren't really feeling that. So, I like to be a people's DJ because, not saying a people pleaser, but a people's DJ because that's how you get more business.
I mean, it's your job to move the crowd, right?
Yes, exactly. I was just about to say, as a DJ, it's your job to move the crowd.
Yeah.
So, I definitely take pride in making sure the crowd has fun, whether it's going to be something chill or even if it's going to be a party. As far as where you can find me, Monday and Wednesday, I DJ a cycling class every Monday and Wednesday in the city of Lomita. It's called Get Fit Nutrition. And that's also where I do my coaching as well. I teach a full body class every Tuesday at 7:30, which I did yesterday.
A.M.?
Yes. Oh, no. 7:30 p.m.
Okay.
I'm sorry. So the cycling classes are Monday and Wednesdays at 6 p.m.
Oh, okay. I
To
got
the
you.
people that decide that they want to come through, I would suggest getting there at 5 because our bikes sell out pretty fast.
Okay. You're popular is what you're saying.
Yes, I would like to say we're very much popular over there.
Okay.
But as far as bookings go, you guys can reach out to me on Instagram. You guys can follow me on Instagram, Roger Dodger HD. It's ROGER DODGER HD. Not I mean DJ Roger Dodger.
Roger Dodger HD.
Yes, Roger Dodger HD.
On all the different platforms.
Yes.
Are you from LA?
Yes, I live in Inglewood.
Okay.
That's my city, born and raised. I take pride in living in Inglewood.
Yeah. Most people that are from there do.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Inglewood has a lot of pride.
Oh yeah, for sure. Has a lot going on too. As far as like,
no doubt.
I don't like to use the word gentrification, but we got a lot of that going on.
If the word fits.
If the shoe fits, wear it, right?
Yeah. It's I used to work for many years in Inglewood at a different radio station. I'm pretty sure you can guess which one because there's only one there.
No, understandable. Yeah, I know.
And I saw the city change a lot, and I was afraid that it would when we saw the incredible development there. You don't want to stand in the way of progress, but at the same time, you don't want to see the residents, the original Inglewood folks, pushed out.
Oh man, and it's crazy because I see a bunch of new residents just walking around, and then, I'm looking and I'm like, man, like this is not the Inglewood that I remember. And then, lo and behold, I graduated from Inglewood High School. They tore it down just now, but I know they're reconstructing it.
Was that traumatic though, watching it get torn down?
Yeah, and
I've heard a couple people saying it. They were in their feelings about it.
And even when I drove past and I just saw that it was torn down, I was like, man, like I can't even visit the school no more because it's gonna be torn down for quite some time. I mean, I'm happy that they're gonna rebuild it.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is that they plan on doing, but I would imagine they got to keep Inglewood High School. That's like one of the heart and prides of the city of Inglewood.
Yeah, you know what? I read about it, but I don't remember. I'll have to look it up. And of course, it would be nice if they would put up a sign, a drawing or something, so all the former Inglewood High graduates.
Yeah, just like something to write on as like a memorabilia or something like that.
Yeah, you show some love over here. We're talking with Roger Hill II, a.k.a. DJ Roger Dodger. We'll continue the conversation. I want to hear about the fitness stuff and more, and, of course, your advocacy when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
Thanks for starting your morning off with a voice that speaks truth to power and the powerless, getting to the heart of what matters most in our community. This is where authentic conversation meets real action. From breaking news and politics to culture and community solutions, this is where you hear perspectives you won't hear anywhere else. This is where we come together, get informed, and make change happen. You're inside First Things First with Dominique DePrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
Good morning, sunshine. You make my day.
It's game day. Are your moderate to severe Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keeping you from the action? Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, could help you get back to the game. Skyrizi is proven to help people feel significant symptom relief, achieve remission, and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine for adults. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's or ulcerative colitis.
Control is everything to me.
Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's and ulcerative colitis combined. Learn more at skyrizi.com or 1-866-SKYRIZI.
Can we just talk?
You've heard me say it before. How we talk to one another matters. Earlier this year, we launched our first cohort, and I'm grateful to those who leaned in early and helped to shape the work. Now I'm inviting you to join me for a new live seminar, The Practice of Dialogue, Becoming a More Effective Communicator. This is a small group experience designed to help you strengthen how you communicate in your work, your relationships, and your everyday life. Space is limited to keep the experience personal and interactive. So if you're ready to take your communication to the next level, now is the time to focus on the skills that make conversations meaningful. The new 4-week cohort begins Monday, May 4th, and there's a nice discount for early bird registrants. Visit TavishTalks.com to learn more and reserve your place today. That's TavishTalks.com, because better conversations don't just happen, we practice them.
Every day on KBLA Talk 1580, it's like a live town hall meeting over the airwaves. Politics, culture, community, justice, nothing is off the table. We take more listener calls, spark more honest conversations, and challenge more assumptions than any talk station in Southern California. Because good ideas matter more than ideology. KBLA Talk 1580, your station, your voice, your city. Listen live at KBLA 1580 AM on our free KBLA 1580 app or on our website at KBLA1580.com.
Unapologetically progressive. The conversation continues right now with Dominique DePrima on First Things First.
And indeed, I love it on a Wealth Building Wednesday when our entrepreneur is live in the studio. That's what we got going on right now. Roger Hill II, a.k.a. Roger Dodger.
Yeah.
DJ Roger Dodger.
DJ Roger Dodger.
So you've taken your music, and do you do parties and stuff too, or do you just only DJ for us to get in shape?
Yeah.
You only DJ to get us off our butts.
I do parties too, but again, so even when I DJ the workout classes, we like for it to have a party vibe to it, because when you just are just working out without music, sometimes the workouts can feel really long. So I like for it to turn into a party. Then by the time you know it, you've burned a bunch of calories, and you didn't even know that you burned that many calories. So
yeah, those are the best workouts. I mean, whenever I'm feeling lazy, I have to turn on my favorite music, and it does get you fired up and get you through the workout.
Yeah, and even dancing burns calories too. So even when people are partying, like some people will sweat, but that just means that either the music is working, like the DJ's doing his job, or the music is giving you energy.
Yeah, and as long as you're not, drinking in one hand, taking in the calories on one side.
Oh yeah, no.
And then sweating. I mean, you can. I mean, I guess it's better than just drinking and not moving your body. But
that is
true. You said your workout was called Get Fit Nutrition, so there's a food component to it too.
Yes.
I'm guessing.
So yeah, my bad. It just came to me. So yes, so it's called Get Fit Nutrition. It's essentially a group fitness gym. We also have a nutrition bar where we sell shakes, teas, and sometimes they'll do like pre-workouts as well, or something for post-workout.
Oh, nice.
And when we have our fit camps, you can come to our fit camp Saturday at 6:30 in the morning. When we have our fit camps, usually they have people selling breakfast. So Linda, who is one of the coaches, she's on the live right now.
Hey, Linda.
She does overnight oats, and then there's another coach that does protein-styled waffles.
Okay. Ooh,
so
that sounds good.
If you guys want to come get a plate or two from Saturday, 6:30 in the morning, by all means, follow me on Instagram. I'll send you the info.
So all this is going down at the spot in Lomita.
Yes, all of this goes down in Lomita.
Okay, and we can find you on Instagram at Roger Dodger.
Yeah, so Roger Dodger HD, and then I have 2 other pages, but you can see them all on my main page. Roger Dodger HD is my main page, but I also have a DJ page and a fitness page.
Okay, of course you do. Now, what form does the advocacy take for you? There's a lot of stereotypes about people that are on the spectrum, as they say. I think Asperger's is what you said you were diagnosed with.
Yes.
And the stereotype of that is that you're, super smart, right?
Yeah.
That you can do rocket science. And is that helpful or problematic, or both?
I guess it more so depends on in the way it's being used.
Right.
So for me, it's kind of a 50-50 thing. Because I know that there are some people out there that will kind of use it in like a derogatory way.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's other people that, they have a genuine understanding for it, and they understand that, people with Asperger's, they can be very smart. Sometimes, I've heard people say that, we can be, dumb, or I don't want to use that word. I oftentimes tell people that, it's not that we're like not there or anything. It's just we think differently from what a typical person would think. So there's typical, there's atypical. As atypical people, we just think of things differently than what another person would think. And oftentimes, unfortunately, because of the generation that we are in right now, some of them take it as like, oh, this ain't the right way to do it, or, you sound crazy. Like, unfortunately, like, even my generation mean. Like,
Are you Gen Z?
What? I don't know. What would I classify as?
Millennial? No.
I think millennial.
You think
I don't
you're
know.
millennial? You
I'm
might
20
be zillennial.
I'm 29. What is that?
Oh,
what does that count
I
as?
think you're zillennial.
Zillennial?
You're right. You're right on the
Right
Gen
on-
Z
right on the
millennial cusp. Yeah.
I like to claim myself as a 90s baby, though, because I listen to a bunch of oldies.
So you're an old man trapped in a young man's body?
Yes. Yeah. I would definitely like to think that. And some of my friends, they'll tell me the same thing, like, and then some of them don't make me feel no better, because I'll be 30 in December, and I get called all types of old, and at least by some of my friends that are a little younger than me.
By your mean generation?
Yeah, by my mean generation.
So, I mean, where I was going with it, though, is I hope that society in general, and Black people in particular, are getting smarter, getting more sophisticated about understanding Asperger's, people on the spectrum, autism in general, because it's not a disease. People, it's not a disorder, right? This is just, how would you describe it?
Yeah, so I will definitely say you're 100% right on that. It's not a disease. And, it hurts my soul when a lot of people try to say that it's like a disease, or it's something wrong with you. I would often, even, if we have some neurodivergent adults listening to this right now, or if somebody wants to spread the word, I often tell people it's not a weakness. It's actually more so of a superpower. So it's, it's not a disadvantage. It's the only reason why people will downplay it is because, some of them just don't understand like how we think. So, and, I honestly feel like, when you listen to a neurodivergent adult, they may tell you something that you never thought of. Even some of my friends that I've talked to that are neurodivergent, they've given me some ideas that even I'd never thought of. You know what I mean? And, I'm supposed to be thinking, essentially close to what they're thinking. So, like, I definitely like to think of that as a superpower. One of my role models is Albert Einstein.
Okay, good role model.
He's a very smart dude. And, another person that I look up to, a friend of mine, RJ, Rodney Pete Jr., who's Holly Robinson's son and Rodney Pete's son. And, every time I see him, like, I just hold up the number 3, because he's a 3-time champion with the Dodgers, and, he works in the clubhouse. And I remember, hearing a bit that they essentially said that he might not be able to live a normal life. Now he's driving. He works for like he works for a world champion organization. So that's something to be proud of for him.
Yeah. I think that, you said it's a superpower. I think
Yes.
it's people don't understand, people just don't get it. And it's not just everyday people, it's scientists too, right? Because
Yes.
scientists don't really know why people are on the spectrum, and they don't know the extent of what those abilities, superpowers, or ways of thinking really are, right?
Yeah, of course. I will say that the positive part about it is, when I look at social media, sometimes I tend to not be a big fan of social media and how it can influence everybody. I do like, however, that for the month of April, I've seen a lot of educational posts or I won't say educational, just findings from other people that either know somebody with autism or they themselves have autism. So I would definitely say, for social media wise, this is the most I've seen autism get posted in this whole entire month, which, I'm glad for doing so. So my hope, I'm confident that later on in the future that there's going to be more studies, and there's going to be more studies on figuring out the mindset of adults with autism, adults with Asperger's, or any other neurodivergence.
Well, you're influencing me a little bit here, Roger, because I always hate this month and that month because they seem like marketing things.
Mhm.
But what you just said is if it, brings you encouragement that people are posting stuff that is moving us in the right direction, progress toward the way we view and the way we interact with people who are autistic, people who are on the spectrum, people with Asperger's, then let the months thrive. So maybe, you might have influenced me right now. We just got a few seconds left. Time flies when you're on the radio. Remind us, DJ Roger Dodger, and also how to contact you, and also how to get involved with you as a fitness client as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, my name is DJ Roger Dodger. My slogan is nothing special, just a typical DJ. You guys can find me on Instagram at Roger Dodger HD, ROGERDODGERHD. Know what I mean? You could book me for DJ services. You could DM me on Instagram. And also, if you're looking for health and wellness, I do specialize in helping people with their fitness goals, whether it's body transformation for weight loss, fat loss, muscle gain, or weight maintenance. You guys can also hit me up for that as well. I'll leave my business cards on my story so that way everyone knows where I'm at. And I also will say, because my mom texted me just now and wanted me to remind everyone that I also have a mobile mechanic business too.
What?
I do brakes and oil changes.
Oh my!
So,
you'll have to come back. We'll have to do the brake and oil change show on another day. But
I do want to say one last thing because I want to make sure that everybody hears this. So remember how I was telling you about LA Speech and Language, right?
Mhm.
So there's a lady. She's the founder. Her name is Dr. Wiley. She's like my second mother. One of the things that she used to always tell me, and you'll hear her say it a lot. The best quote that I heard from her is, autism is a label, but it does not define your potential in life. So if you're a neurodivergent adult out there and you are surrounded by society or a group of people that are making you feel bad for what you have, understand that all it is a label. It doesn't define what you can do in life. If you put a little hard work into whatever it is that you want to do, then success will happen for you. So always keep that in mind. Keep working hard and continue to put autism, Asperger's, and everything else on the map.
Roger Hill II, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
News, traffic, and sports, then the phone lines are open. KBLA Talk 1580.
A safe place to go loud.
A great place for progressive politics. KBLA Talk 1580.
Think It Up is an initiative to activate student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classrooms today? Join at thinkitup.org.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Lakers are now 0-3 without Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves. LeBron also did not play Tuesday night against Oklahoma City. He's got a sore foot. The absence of the Lakers' big three set up an easy win for OKC at Crypto.com, 123-87. A game like this, without LeBron, Doncic, and Reeves, should raise concerns among Lakers fans about the overall talent on the Lakers roster. The Clippers beat Dallas last night, 116-103, 34 points for Kawhi Leonard. UConn women's basketball coach Gino Auriemma finally made a direct apology to South Carolina coach Dawn Staley. Auriemma called Staley late Tuesday afternoon to apologize for starting a heated confrontation between the two coaches after Friday's Final Four game in Phoenix. Auriemma released a generic apology on Saturday, but did not mention Staley's name in his statement. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580.
You have something to say, and we want to hear it. KBLA Talk 1580 is engagement radio, not outrage radio. A place where your hopes, your frustrations, and your ideas are welcome 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Real talk, real people, real Los Angeles. KBLA Talk 1580, the station that sounds like the city looks. Tune in on your AM radio dial at 1580. Download our free KBLA 1580 app or listen live on our website at KBLA1580.com.
Unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 joins you in standing for voting rights. The midterm election campaign season is here now. The 2028 presidential election is right around the corner. When We All Vote is a leading national nonpartisan initiative on a mission to change the culture around voting and to increase participation in each and every election by helping to close the race and age gap. Created by Michelle Obama, When We All Vote brings together individuals, institutions, brands, and organizations to register new voters across the country and advance civic education for the entire family and voters of every age to build an informed and engaged electorate for today and generations to come. When We All Vote empowers their supporters and volunteers to take action through voting, advocating for their rights, and holding their elected officials accountable. It's all in for 2026 and 2028. Please visit whenweallvote.org to stand up for your rights, voting rights. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Can we just talk? You've heard me say it before, how we talk to one another matters. Earlier this year, we launched our first cohort, and I'm grateful to those who leaned in early and helped to shape the work. Now I'm inviting you to join me for a new live seminar, The Practice of Dialogue, Becoming a More Effective Communicator. This is a small group experience designed to help you strengthen how you communicate in your work, your relationships, and your everyday life. Space is limited to keep the experience personal and interactive. So if you're ready to take your communication to the next level, now is the time to focus on the skills that make conversations meaningful. The new 4-week cohort begins Monday, May 4th, and there's a nice discount for early bird registrants. Visit TavishTalks.com to learn more and reserve your place today. That's TavishTalks.com, because better conversations don't just happen, we practice them.
We knew you'd stick around. This is LA's home for Progressive Talk Radio. Welcome back to KBLA Talk 1580.
So breaking news, we are not ending a civilization today. Praise be to God. God is good all the time. I think apparently the government of Pakistan kind of gave our president your president, I ain't vote for him, gave him a little back door so that he could not commit a number of massive simultaneous war crimes. But we'll see. The official story, the propaganda around this is diverse. I think that, Tavs and I were talking yesterday saying it's Taco Tuesday, meaning the Trump always chickens out. But look, this is a chickening out that I'll take. And they're calling it a ceasefire agreement. Of course, the president is always saying we won. I don't know how you win when you spend billions of dollars murdering children and civilians and reducing infrastructure to rubble. But it's what we do know is that we have a 2-week reprieve here, right? There are differing stories about what this ceasefire looks like. Iran is saying that it will coordinate reopening the Strait of Hormuz for a couple of weeks. Israel says that ceasefire to them means they get to keep bombing Lebanon, which is insane to me, but not surprising because ceasefire to them in Gaza meant we keep bombing people in Gaza. So what is the definition of a ceasefire if you keep dropping bombs? But they are saying they're, of course, both sides are claiming victory. And the Trump administration is demanding minerals. We're like junkies. You know what I mean? We'll bomb you. We'll take away your food and medical aid. We'll twist your arm. We'll threaten your sovereignty unless you give us your oil and minerals. It's like we're like crackheads for oil and minerals. But now the president is saying that the United States may be policing the Strait of Hormuz. I do not see Iran agreeing to that, but we shall see. He's calling it a, quote, joint venture with Iran. Tehran's saying something different. They're saying their military will decide what ships go through. And the experts are saying that that strait is going to be backed up for quite a while. Now, Pakistan, the prime minister of Pakistan, was the one who was begging basically Trump not to obliterate or whatever he was going to do and may still do to Iran. He's invited delegations from the United States and Iran to Islamabad for talks on Friday. And listen to who they're sending. Jared Kushner. You remember him? The guy with no expertise who's the son-in-law of the president who's taken billions from Saudi Arabia while making plans to turn Gaza into a Trump resort. That guy. Steve Witkoff, the guy who's responsible for the so-called peace deals in Gaza. And Vice President J.D. Vance. What a trio. But they will be going to Islamabad on Friday, apparently, to have a peace talk or some kind of negotiation around the situation in Iran. And the IDF, the Israeli Defense Forces, still bombing Lebanon and apparently killing and wounding hundreds just over the past couple of days there. So that's where we are with that. Again, it's not clear what happens next because the President Trump, appears to be changing his mind every 5 minutes. I do think one of the reasons why this happened is because the right-wing pundits were going in on the president hard. From his terrible, blasphemous Easter truth tweet thing to his threats of war crimes with an unhinged and demented demeanor. His own allies were going in on him, have been going in on him, have started talking openly about removing him from office, through the 25th Amendment. We know that's probably not going to happen, but all of that conversation, much of it happening on television and on podcasts and on radio, which is where the president likes to shine, undoubtedly played a role in this. Trump's priority is clearly radio, TV, and podcasts. It's entertainment. That's his orientation. The whole thing is still The Apprentice, and my guess is as his mind becomes more and more addled, the entertainment stuff just mushes in with everything else. And as he endorses Steve Hilton to be the next governor of California, the idea that he's a Fox News host is just as important. That the fact that he's a Republican. This is a man who is spewing hate at CNN because he doesn't want to look bad. He doesn't want to be talked about bad. And what happens on TV and on podcasts may be more important to him than what happens in real life. That's my impression. That's where we are. And I really feel, I know it sounds corny, but I feel like prayer is warranted because the possibilities here are not good. I feel like the entire country and possibly the world is being held hostage by our crazy uncle. And I don't mean crazy like mentally ill. I mean like, maybe possibly drunk or definitely suffering from dementia. And I mean, I can smell him through the TV at this point. And I feel like I just can't get away. It's like a bad dream, Your stinky, distant relative who won't stop talking and has no grip on reality but has strong opinions and a lot of clout for some reason. It's like a bad dream. And I think that some of the extremes of this are breaking a tiny bit of his grip on Republicans. I say a tiny bit because they're still afraid of him. But we're starting to see not just some of the right-wing podcasters and TV and radio people criticizing his foul language, his foreign wars, the money, literally billions every day being spent while you're telling us you can't afford childcare, you can't afford health care, while Israel's people have Medicare for all. But we can't afford it for our people, but we can afford to subsidize their military. I think it's starting to sink in with people, and we are seeing some folks breaking from him, possibly because it's an election year and they know their constituents, their voters do not like what's going on. All of the polling shows the war in Iran is deeply unpopular. I was talking with a friend yesterday about how we believe both Republicans and Democrats are deeply, deeply underestimating how unpopular what the U.S. and Israel are doing in Gaza is, the murdering of all those children and civilians, reducing the Gaza Strip to rubble. People don't like it. It feels gross. It feels terrible that our tax dollars, which we desperately need to feed and clothe our own children, are being used to kill others and render them homeless. I believe, and this is what, my friend was speaking on, is that the politicians still haven't awakened to how serious the public is about this. No, whether you're saying America first means American investment, not bombing other countries, or whether you're on the other side of the aisle as a progressive saying this is an immoral use of funds. If budgets are moral documents, we're on the lowest ring of hell right now. The lowest rung, I should say. We're at the bottom of the bottom. We're killing literally Iranian schoolgirls and babies in Gaza. For what? Define the reason. Senator Lisa Murkowski says Trump's threat can't be excused away as an attempt to gain leverage in negotiations. Nathaniel Moran is a congressman out of Texas. He says, I don't support the destruction of a whole civilization. That's not who we are and is not consistent with the principles that have long guided America. Kevin Kiley out of California. He's an independent now, but he's one of those independents that I always talk about or who are really just Republicans that are too ashamed to have an R next to their name. He says the United States does not destroy civilizations, nor do we threaten to do so as some sort of negotiating tactic. This is a lot of criticism of the president coming from Republicans during an election cycle. It's a good sign. I feel that it's a good sign. It's not that we're all better. It's not that Tucker Carlson has suddenly become a humanitarian and will now stand up for justice. It's not that at all, but it's that we're reaching a level of evil and a level of discombobulated thinking, erratic behavior, where people finally have to say something and say, okay, this is beyond whatever we can even tolerate, even being petrified of Trump. Unfortunately, Marjorie Taylor Greene's seat will remain red. Clay Fuller beat Sean Harris, a Democrat, in a special runoff election for that 14th congressional district on yesterday. That gives the Republicans another vote in their rather skinny House majority. It doesn't mean that they'll keep that majority after the November election, but they kept the seat. Politico notes and pundits are saying that his margin of victory is less than half of what Trump won that district by in 2024, which represents the erosion in the president's popularity. And that is showing us a trend line, which we love. But he still won with 56, almost 56% of the vote in Northwest Georgia, keeping Marjorie Taylor Greene's seat red. It's not too late to call me, 800-920-1580. I'm Dominique DePrima for KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DePrima when we come forward. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. These are hard times for housing in America. Too many in our community face barriers to safe housing, behavioral health care, and affirming spaces for healing, particularly those impacted by poverty and stigma or incarceration. Rooted in South LA, Ahmad supports impacted communities through housing, wellness, and leadership development. Ahmad provides culturally responsive, peer-led support from transitional housing and mental health services to leadership development and youth empowerment. They offer safe, affirming houses for youth, transgender women, and formerly incarcerated individuals. Therapy and peer support with a focus on healing trauma in Black communities. HIV prevention and care, free testing, education, and wraparound services for whole person wellness. Standing in the gap with health, housing, and hope. Reach out to Ahmad Institute at 323-569-1610. That's 323-569-1610. Or visit amaad.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Get the 411 on 411. Saturday, April 11th, join us at Victory Park in Pasadena for the Altadena Build Together Fair from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. For those impacted by the Eaton Canyon fire, if you've been asking, where do I start? How do I rebuild? Who can help? This is for you. We're bringing together the resources, the experts, and the support you need all in one place. Plus, music, food, and activities for the whole family. Visit actionaltadena.com. The Altadena Build Together Fair, because rebuilding starts together.
Miles and Milligan calling authors and business owners to register now for Black Writers on Tour plus Business plus AI Expo, Saturday, April 25th, 10 to 4 p.m. at the Carson Event Center.
Learn how to write, publish, and sell your book. Business owners are looking for you now. Let them know where you're at. Call 323-750-3592. Free admission and parking. You heard right, free. Powerful seminar lineup. Go to blackwritersontour.com and register today. 323-750-3592.
Literacy is everybody's business. Black Writers on Tour at the Carson Event Center, Saturday, April 25th, 10 to 4. See you there. 323-750-3592. Visit blackwritersontour.com. Don't you miss it.
Heard any other talk radio lately that sounds anything like this?
We didn't think so.
You're listening to Unapologetically Progressive, KBLA Talk 1580.
We didn't think so. Okay, so look, a palate refresher. The Artemis 2 is on its way back to Earth. They broke records. They went further out into space than any humans ever have. I love that for us. I get excited about this stuff. I think it's cool. It's science. I'm happy that at least the Trump administration, which seems to be generally very anti-science, has not shut this down. There's 4 astronauts on that mission, 1 woman. The pilot is a black man, Victor Glover. I think he's been really classy in his demeanor. I know Doc said she saw something on him with Trump. I didn't see that. I did see the 4 members of the crew when Trump was talking to them, and they were just quiet. They didn't have anything to say.
What else you gonna do?
Yeah, I mean, he is the president of the United States.
In space, you ain't got nothing else to do but listen to. I mean,
Right? Yeah. Oh, that's
no Wi-Fi signal. Out
that's
there.
a scary thought. But it was pretty funny because they were quiet, and then they pick up the phone. One of them picks up the phone and is like, "Okay, are you guys still on?" The president's all, "Yeah." Anyway, he's seems to be very brilliant. He's got a beautiful family, and he had some deep words about how being out in space like that, looking down on Earth, just as a reminder of what a precious little oasis we live on in this whole giant universe. You know, how fortunate we are to
You
live
go?
on this planet. Would I go?
You gonna do a broadcast in space?
Well, if I was going to broadcast, I would go, yeah.
3-day weekend?
I wouldn't go like on a Katy Perry, let me just go to say I went. But if I was going to do a live broadcast, Miles, you already know. I'm here for breaking records in broadcasting.
Space is a different frontier, though.
All right, shoot. What's left? I've broadcast from Crenshaw with the Lowriders. I've broadcast from the Cape Coast Castle and slave dungeon in Ghana. You know what I mean? I broadcast inside the California prison system. Yeah, I'd broadcast from. That's about the only thing that would get me to go out there. It was just going just to go. No, thank you. Anyway, they whipped around the backside of the moon, a side of the moon we've never seen before, took pictures, and now all of the information they got with their eyes and what they got with their cameras is going to teach us a lot of things, teach scientists a lot of things that will help develop the moon, help us here on Earth. So I think it's really exciting.
I'm glad you're excited about that,
I
Dominique. That's
do.
what's up.
I get excited about science and the universe and discoveries. I mean, you know, I maybe because I've seen so much scientific progress in my lifetime. I've seen diseases cured. I've seen when I was little, we used to think a video call was like the faraway future. Now FaceTime is like normal. I love that.
I'm glad
I
that
love that for us.
glad it's definitely it's a good palate refresher, and I'm curious what their takes are on the world being up that far up past outside the world. You know what I'm saying? For all the issues and stuff we're thinking about and dealing with that take up our front of mind, they're nowhere near none of that. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole different point of view for real. So.
Yeah, I mean, you listen what Victor Glover said. It really will make you appreciate life. You're like, oh wow, we were lucky to be born on an oasis in the middle of possibly hostile other planets and atmospheres where we could live as humans and thrive.
They saw any aliens up there?
They're not saying that. Okay. They may have. But when they come back down, they've got to go through a 5,000 degree Fahrenheit atmospheric layer, and they have a heat shield to protect them from that. They're going to drop down into the ocean with a series of parachutes This is happening on Friday.
They should have took I Show Speed, and we could have got a real full look at what space
That would have
like.
been great. I Show Speed and Dominique DePrima in space. What?
That must be the aliens, man. Let's talk about something. Let's talk.
But imagine coming down that fast, 25,000 miles an hour, going through 5,000 degrees Fahrenheit, and then you quickly slow down using these parachutes and drop into the ocean doing 20 miles an hour.
All right.
That's a landing right there. And they have airbags to make sure they land right side up.
Dope. Okay, I'll be looking for the return for sure. But
That's in San
following.
Diego. I wonder if we could go see it. Well, I won't. I'm quit lying. You ain't gonna drive to San Diego, but it's pretty. I think that's pretty dope. Yeah. Yes, indeed. Artemis 2. So loving that for not just America, for the world. And we don't have time to talk about the other things I wanted to talk to you about, but I will mention Ye, because the doggone British actually prevented him. They banned him from entering the UK, which to me is crazy. Viktor Orban, the fascist leader, he can come in anytime he wants. But not Ye. I mean, look, I'm not trying to be an apologist for Ye's Nazi proclivities, but the guy did apologize. He's apologized repeatedly, and y'all let in all kinds of other people. I don't know. You're a big accountability guy, Miles. What did you think about banning Ye from the UK?
I mean, look, it's a good try. It's a good attempt. Like we said yesterday, a lot of the people are upset that they can't control whether Kanye is truly all the way back or not. So I think this is something I think was more of a win for the Wireless Festival than actually Kanye West, because Kanye West can go do that. He's starting to prove it anywhere on the globe, really. If you allow him into your country, he'll stimulate that economy. So
right, he'll sell out the arena,
the festival, the stadium, everything.
They were trying to say in the entertainment press that it was a one-off. No, it ain't a one-off. You think selling out Inglewood is a one-off? I think Ye can sell out anywhere.
If he said, I got a show tonight, I guarantee you it'd probably be packed out tonight too.
Pretty much. And I think it's a slippery slope. If we just start banning artists because of something they said, even after they've apologized. But we don't do the same. We don't hold business owners. We don't hold politicians to the same standard as we hold artists. There's something wrong with that.
Or drill rappers.
Okay, or drill rappers. But what about corporations that are investing in killing little kids or investing in anti-Semitic enterprises like Elon Musk does? You don't ban him.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Wrong and wrong. All right, we're gonna talk entertainment next. We're gonna talk with publicist to the stars, with Lisa Bennett, and find out what publicists even do, what she does, and maybe we'll get some tea. All that straight ahead on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
Think It Up is an initiative to activate student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classrooms today? Join at thinkitup.org.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Lakers are now 0-3 without Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves. LeBron also did not play Tuesday night against Oklahoma City. He's got a sore foot. The absence of the Lakers' big three set up an easy win for OKC at Crypto.com, 123-87. A game like this, without LeBron, Doncic, and Reeves, should raise concerns among Lakers fans about the overall talent on the Lakers roster. The Clippers beat Dallas last night, 116-103, 34 points for Kawhi Leonard. UConn women's basketball coach Gino Auriemma finally made a direct apology to South Carolina coach Dawn Staley. Auriemma called Staley late Tuesday afternoon to apologize for starting a heated confrontation between the two coaches after Friday's Final Four game in Phoenix. Auriemma released a generic apology on Saturday, but did not mention Staley's name in his statement. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
When the story gets twisted, who's going to tell the truth? When they cut the microphones, who's still talking? When history gets rewritten, who remembers what really happened? We do. KBLA Talk 1580. Black media isn't just important right now, it's essential. Because when mainstream outlets move on, we stay. When the headlines ignore our communities, we don't. When decisions are being made that affect black lives in our schools, our neighborhoods, our economy, KBLA is in the room. This is more than radio. This is a lifeline, a record, a rallying cry. Black stories, black voices, black power.
The heat is on.
On the air and in the culture. KBLA Talk 1580. Stay connected. Stay informed. Stay loud.
Stand up.
You see me heavy work. You see me do me dirt. There's something about that work. When you walk a line. I'm in the cafe, my drive me a dessert. No time to have you lurking. You make a back, now you don't like it. You know I dealt with you the nicest. Nobody touched me in the righteous. Nobody text me in a crisis. I believed all of your dreams are duration. You took my heart, all my keys, and my patience. You took my heart, I must leave a decoration. You mistaken my love, I brought for you for foundation. All that I wanted